What's up, everybody? I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, we're talking about, in my opinion, what is one of the most important skills to learn in Escape from Tarkov, and a skill that you can practice and get better at no matter how long you've been playing the game, and that is point firing. I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And if you like this video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. All that stuff helps me out a ton, a lot more than you might think. So thank you so much to those that do that. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So the format here is going to be like our Lessons from Beyond the Grave or Teaching Tactics videos. We'll watch a few clips and then kind of break them down. But just as a kind of preface of all that, point firing, if you're new to the game, is just shooting without aiming down sights. You could call it hip firing, but in Tarkov, your character is basically always at the high ready where he has his gun shouldered all the time, and right-clicking and ADSing is really just you kind of like looking down the sight, but your gun is always up and at the ready, which you can be pretty accurate with, which is why point firing in Tarkov is a lot more accurate than hip firing in other games. We're not here to split hairs about all that, but point firing in Tarkov is a really important skill. It allows you to eliminate enemies. If you're in a close quarters combat, ADSing, oftentimes depending on the optic, can bring your FOV in a little bit. It definitely focuses your attention. And if you're able to accurately hit shots while point firing, a lot of times you're using a lot more of your peripheral vision. You kind of have more of the scene. You can snap from target to target. You can use it as a suppression technique, which is kind of like going hand in hand with this video. I think I'm going to do something about suppression as a whole nother video, but that kind of concept goes hand in hand with this video. So point firing is a skill that you can absolutely practice. You can go into an offline factory, turn the scavs all the way up to horde, but their difficulty all the way down to easy. Take an optic off your gun, maybe use a laser as a way to practice where your point fire spread is going to go. But you can absolutely practice this skill. And these clips, the few clips that I have, are almost like showing you what the reward for that can be. And I have been someone that was really, really bad at it and have been practicing, trying to get better, practicing offline and online, mostly in my online raids, just trying to get better at this. And here are some of the ways that you can almost accidentally win a fight before it even starts using point fire. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the first clip, and then we'll kind of break it down from there. Shut up, I killed that guy? So, as you can tell from the look on my face, I was just as surprised as everybody else that I ended up killing that guy. And once again, this is the potential reward from practicing this skill. There's a few things here. We'll kind of just wrap it all the way from the beginning. Obviously, the preface is here. We're in elbow on labs and we're fighting. This is a rough place to be because there's a lot of exactly this grenade spam and pushing. And I figured instead of having him peek me or make a flank on me, I was just going to, my teammate died. So I was going to try and make a play on him so I could either die or get out of the raid and kill this guy. So using grenades to push is a strategy a lot of people use because people are going to run away from grenades. So you can take that opportunity to push up a long haul where you're out of cover. It's exactly what I did. I pushed around the corner. I saw the guy, and there's a few things to break down here. So, I mean, we can just play this tiny little part of the clip where I peeked the corner, and that was it. Boom. One of those shots hit him in the head, and he's dead. And I spend the next 45 seconds waiting for him to make a move, waiting for something. And there's a little bit to unpack here in this tiny little bit of time. So I've actually been talking with a friend about this a lot, about taking the opportunity to go for a shot. When something like this happens, when I peek this, I peeked the corner. I'm the one moving here. He's standing still. He's holding that corner. So he kind of has the advantage there. I mean, I know you can make an an argument that the aggressor has the advantage, that you can use ping, but I'm not being very aggressive here. I'm just walking across. I wasn't sprinting across. I wasn't trying to abuse ping or anything. I don't know where this guy is. He stopped moving. I've got my gun at the ready and I'm just walking across here. So as soon as I see him, I just go for some shots. I don't want to give him the opportunity to get an easy headshot on me. I don't want to turn my back to him and try to run away. A lot of times trying to get away from that almost exposes you just as much. So I took the opportunity my thought here wasn't that I was going to kill him. I really didn't think that I was going to kill him here. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier about suppression. Just throwing shots towards somebody, yes, you might be wasting ammo or good ammo, and I'm not talking necessarily about mag dumping, but sending shots somebody's way stresses them out, whether you hit them or not. And you can use that concept to your advantage. I'll probably do some videos about that in the future, but my goal here was just to suppress him, maybe hit him in the arm or something, and get him to back off, or just kind of blurry his vision, maybe aim punch him. It was just, I want to live long enough to get to the corner was all I was thinking. But the more you practice this skill, the more you find yourself kind of on target with those shots. Now, of course, there's going to be vertical and horizontal jumps with the recoil of any weapon, even at meta M4s like this a little bit. I was moving, so that always accentuates that a little bit, but we were able to secure this kill, and I really didn't think that I had. And like we talked about earlier, accidentally finished the fight before it even started. So we can take a look at another clip in this same raid where something very similar to this happens. So this is literally me just going to loot this person that we just killed, and a few people run up and we'll kind of check out what happens there. So once again, I'm just as surprised as the next guy that it was able to happen, but it was basically those same principles. So if we kind of break this one down from the beginning, obviously this guy's in a terrible place to loot. There's almost no good place to loot on labs, but this is a terrible place. There's a million angles. So I'm trying to check them, as many as possible. I think I'm safe. I go for the loot. I hear a few people coming up. There's also something to be said right here. I see this guy right here, and another skill to learn is not shooting immediately. If I had shot at those guys right there, he wouldn't have peeked this. I wouldn't have got this kill. They would have known where I was. This fight would have gone differently. So waiting until the right time, that guy just completely gave me that opportunity. He wasn't behind cover. He went for like a crouch, and his gun was down because he was just coming out of a sprint. I was able to eliminate that guy, no problem. We kind of used the same tactic here a little bit. I try to get close to the other guy by throwing a nade and pushing him back. That nade ended up rolling to the right, and I push him, and it's the same thing. I hear him on the metal, and I'm worried about the same thing. I'm worried that he's at the other end of that hallway holding the door. And if he's holding the door and I just peek it and stand still, I'm going to die. So I want to move across the door. I want to see if I can get a look at where he is. And while I'm doing that, I might as well be shooting. I might as well suppress him. I might as well try to put some pressure on him instead of just letting him stand there and take free shots at me. And because I did that, boom, we got a really crisp headshot on him right as we were peeking across the door. So this kind of stuff lives somewhere in between playing really slow and the kind of meta Chad where you sprint across and free look and you're just doing that back and forth. I mean, if you do that, that's totally fine. But I have found some success in practicing the skill of point firing and then using that in these instances where, especially if you're running guns with high capacity magazines like M4s or 60 rounders and AKs or 50 rounders and AKMs or anything like that, you have a few rounds to throw down range, suppress your enemy, put some pressure on, and you might end up once again eliminating or finishing the fight before it even began. Both of these guys kind of got the end of that. They were running up, probably chasing my shots from earlier. The first guy was dropped immediately before he realized where I was. He called out where I was to his buddy. His buddy pulled back to another position, and right as I peeked, he was eliminated. So point firing is the skill. I mean, I could show hundreds of clips. This is something that I've worked on a lot. It's something other content creators kind of told me to do when I first started playing. And it's a really useful skill. Like we said, it's practicable. You can go in offline, any raid, but factory is a really easy way to get a ton of scavs. I used to start every stream that way. I would do an offline raid. I would take an optic off my gun, and it would be all point fire. Use something like an ADAR or a TX15 for single taps to try and look at accuracy. You can use lasers while you're in your raids to kind of give you kind of an idea of where you're shooting. Lasers and stuff like that also actually decrease the spread of your point fire, so that's even more accurate. But this is a skill worth learning, in my opinion. It's a skill worth practicing and honing, because you can find yourself in situations like this where you're, cutting a fight in half instead of a 1v2. Now it's a 1v1. You're finishing fights before they even start, and you'll start to get more comfortable with it. You'll really start to feel more comfortable and start to feel out and just intrinsically know when you need to ADS and snap onto somebody, when point fire is the right play. Of course, you're going to make mistakes. That's okay. That's the whole teaching tactics, the whole lessons from beyond the grave. A ton of my YouTube content is about embracing the fact that mistakes can oftentimes make you better. But this is definitely a skill worth investing in. And so I just kind of wanted to create a video that talked about that. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully, if you're somebody that just doesn't really ever do that, or finds yourself ADSing even on close fights and having to snap back and forth, this helps. Or if you're pretty proficient at the game, the little bit about suppression, about putting pressure on your enemy and trying to suppress them and just confuse them, can oftentimes play into these victories as well. So hopefully this helped and helps you be a little bit more successful in your raids in Escape from Tarkov. Thank you guys so much, as always, for taking the time to check out the video. If there's anything you want to add to the conversation or anything I missed, go ahead and drop a comment down below. Like this video if you like it, or think about subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I'm always trying to create content to help shorten the learning curve of the game and get you in your raids having fun as soon as possible. Like we said before, I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And if you're looking for people to play with, our Discord community is an awesome place to be. We've got a few thousand members. We've got people that are brand new to Tarkov. We've got Tarkov veterans. It's an awesome place to find people, get help, and all sorts of stuff like that. That link is down below as well. Thank you again for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.